Alex de Minaur left Novak Djokovic gasping for breath. It wasn't enough. Not even arguably Alex de Minaur's greatest performance was enough for him to topple the legendary Novak Djokovic. With Roger Federer watching from the royal box, Australia's perennially underestimated tennis torchbearer returned to Wimbledon's center court for the showdown he was supposed to have 12 months ago and fell agonizingly short. Djokovic brushed off one of the poorest opening sets he has ever played to wear down de Minaur in a seesawing, absorbing war of attrition. 1-6, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4, to reach an eighth consecutive quarterfinal at the All England Club. De Minaur has suffered some almighty beatings at the later stages of majors, most notably to Djokovic and Jannik Sinner at the 2023 and 2025 Australian Opens, respectively. But pushing the Super Serb to the brink failed to satisfy him. It is a tough one. I'm looking right now at my grass season as a whole as a tad disappointing, he said. There are positives from this loss, but at the moment where I am in my career, it doesn't completely fulfill me. I want more. I want to be on the other side of this match and finishing this match coming out on top because I think that's the next step in my career. If I'm going to make the next step, these are the types of matches that need to start going my way. De Minaur gave the former world no one everything he could handle for 3 hours and 19 minutes, including bouncing back from losing competitive second and third sets to jump to a 4-1 fourth set lead, plus having a break point for 5-1 and threaten to take Wimbledon's 7-time champion the distance. Not capitalizing on that advantage to force a deciding set was one of de Minaur's major regrets. Djokovic, as he has done so many times before, which Federer can ruefully vouch for, simply found a way back. De Minaur staved off 2 breakback points in the 7th game to haul himself back to deuce, but a third opportunity proved too much to defend. They fought out another engrossing baseline exchange, only for Djokovic to initially hurt de Minaur with an extreme angle on a cross-court forehand before blasting an inside-out forehand winner to get back on serve. It was a stampede from that moment. Djokovic held to love to level the set, then afforded de Minaur just 1 point as he broke the Australian again to earn the chance to serve the match out. He did not drop another point in sealing his path to the last 8, finally putting a stop to de Minaur's stout resistance. Even in defeat, de Minaur was mostly magnificent. He seldom went far behind the baseline and played aggressively whenever he could in the many exchanges he found himself in with Djokovic, and the longer they went, the better he was. De Minaur himself said afterwards that he went toe-to-toe with one of the greats from the back of the court. The world No. 11 won 36 of 52 points when rallies lasted 9 shots or more, and many of them were absolutely spectacular and left Djokovic gasping for air, or with hands on hips as he went looking for answers from his player box. De Minaur used a wonderful cocktail of slicing and dicing, net play, pace changes, and aggressive shot-making throughout the match. His forehand sometimes lets him down against the best opponents, but held up well against Djokovic. On the other hand, Djokovic did his damage with first-strike tennis and almost doubled his rival's winning rate when points were finished in 4 shots or fewer. De Minaur had to give up his well-earned Wimbledon quarterfinal shot at Djokovic last year because of a freak hip injury he sustained on the third last point of his 4th-round win over France's Arthur Fils. In between, he soared to a career-high ranking of number 6, spent months out either side of the US Open recovering from the hip setback, reached his maiden Australian Open quarterfinal, then revealed after an early Roland Garros defeat that he was battling burnout and mental fatigue. De Minaur entered this year's Wimbledon under the radar after losing his top 10 ranking and only grasscourt match this year. But he eased his way into the tournament with a friendly draw, seeing off Roberto Carbelli-Españas and qualifiers Arthur Cazaux and August Holmgren, and was ready for Djokovic when the opportunity arose. Very few pundits gave de Minaur any chance of causing an upset, but all bets were off after half an hour of madness.
Battling wind and nerves, Djokovic inexplicably double-faulted 4 times and committed 11 unforced errors to drop serve twice and sink into a 4-1 hole. The lunacy continued when Djokovic crashed a forehand into the net to not only concede serve for a 3rd time, but also the opening set 1-6.